Hey YouTubers, just a really quick vlog with a few quick items in it. First off, a little while ago I did a video, Sony A7 Mark II is the honeymoon over, in which I mentioned a problem that I was having where the menu kept disappearing on me, or it wouldn't come up at all. Well, one of my viewers actually commented on that video and said that he was having the same problem, and the problem was this. If you have the battery grip or the vertical grip on, however you like to call it, um, the palm of your hand can hit the shutter button while you're holding the camera. And that can cause, or does cause, the menu to disappear or never come up. And I was like, that's an interesting thought. So as soon as I could, I tested it out, and that was it. Totally it. So it's all about the battery grip and your hand kind of hitting the auxiliary shutter button when that's attached. So that's nice. That's one complaint down and out, and that's really good to know. So thank you a lot for making that comment. That really saved my day. Second item, bad news. You may have noticed if you watched any of my videos where I show photos. I use Apple Aperture, and I've used it basically since it was released. I think it's close to 10 years old. So I've been using it a long time. I have a 160 gigabyte photo library for Aperture. Well, Apple has decided they don't want to support it anymore, so they are going to discontinue it, and you can't buy it anymore within a month or so. They expect you, I guess, to use the new Photos app, which I haven't even played with, but I feel like it can't even come close to comparing to Aperture. I'm sure that a lot of the features are there, but it's just, it's not going to have all of the features of Aperture. It just wouldn't make sense for them to give it away if it did. So I kind of feel like they've screwed me. There's no other way to say it. I've spent money on plugins for Aperture. I've spent money on upgrades for it. Obviously the software won't just stop working, but this means no new features for people like me that use it. No bug fixes, no performance improvements, no new workflow, et cetera, et cetera. It really kind of sucks. So I need to think about what I'm going to use next. I don't know whether I'm going to try to convert my library over to whatever I decide to use next. But I'm afraid if I don't, there will come a day where Aperture won't be able to run on some future Mac. So I've got to consider it at least. The top two contenders right now, obviously Lightroom, which I have used a little bit. I just didn't convert to it because I've been using Aperture for years, and I know all the keystrokes. I can basically do everything in Aperture with the keyboard, which I like. Lightroom, though, is good. I used it when I did the monochrome, when I rented that Leica monochrome and did my review on it. And I thought it was really good. So I wouldn't mind converting to that, aside from the fact, am I going to get to keep all my metadata from my existing library or what? That's a little bit of a worry. The other one that I'm considering is Capture One, and I think it's on version 8, so Capture One 8. It's a RAW converter, and a lot like Aperture, has photo organization and so forth. Pros seem to really love it, so maybe I'll give it a shot. It is developed by, I think, the same company that makes Phase 1 digital backs. So it should have a pretty long lifetime, I would think. From what I hear, it's a little less stable than Lightroom. Don't know. What I'll probably do is do a comparison between the two for myself. And once I familiarize myself, perhaps for you guys, no promises on that, but maybe I'll shoot a bunch of RAW and then process it both in Lightroom and in Capture One during a trial period and tell you what I think of each one and which one I pick. Okay, enough about that. I also am using a new tripod setup. I went nuts. I've decided to kind of redo my tripod stuff. So what I did was I found a used Gitzo 3532. This is a systematic model, and it's the long model. And let me tell you, it's like butter. I love the thing. I used it today. I'll be uploading some video of when I used it. It is phenomenal. It's an amazing tripod. I love it so much already, and I've only used it for a couple of hours. Anyway, I got this new Gitzo, or new to me, it's used, and I got an Arca Swiss Z1 dual panning head as well. So that's a pretty sweet setup. I'll be doing a video about it eventually, but here's a photo, or you've been looking at it. I haven't decided because I haven't edited this video yet, but anyway, I used that today. It's all like butter. It's awesome. It's delicious. So that's some pretty nice gear for a guy like me. That's why I tend to buy things used so that I can kind of afford them. Anyway, so that's the updates. Keep a lookout for some video that I'm going to upload of what I did with the Gitzo today and the Arca Swiss with the A7 and the 400mm Sigma f5.6. And that's it. I just want to do a quick update. I'll catch you later.